Hey guys, it's Sean, Autotopia LA, and today we're jumping into another of my friend Nino's cars. He's got some cool ones, man. I've been a passenger in these before, but I have never driven a Cobra. Now, it's not a real $1 million Cobra. If it was, I guarantee somebody would not be just handing over the keys for me to drive it. But it's a really well done kit car, and we're gonna get into a bunch of the details on it because I think the way this car is made is actually very cool. I mean, in some respects, yeah, you know, it's not the real one, but I think it's cool, the idea that you can actually go drive this car and not be worried about, God forbid something happens, you're not destroying $1 million vehicle that's irreplaceable. So I'm super psyched about this, man. A 427 motor in a 2,400 pound car sounds like a bunch of fun to me. So we're gonna go do our usual thing, give you guys a bunch of details, go for a drive, have some fun. So hold on, because here we go. Hey, there's Jay pulling out in a Countach. Look at that. I love my neighborhood. How you doing, buddy?
Good.
It's not a real one, of course.
Huh?
It's not a real one.
It's Hollywood, nothing's real, don't worry about it.
Right?
Looks great.
Drives incredible.
What motor?
It's the Roush 427.
Tremec 5-speed?
Yep.
Looks great.
Doesn't it?
Cool, have fun.
You're not looking so bad either in your red Countach.
For 30 years.
Come on.
31 years, yeah.
I'm driving behind you right now. I want to see you moving. Look at that, man. How cool is that, you guys? I'm blessed here living in Southern California, especially here where my shop's at. You know, we just have so many car people around here, including Jay. And he's just awesome. He's such a true car guy. Right? I said it. Not a real Cobra. This is a kit car. And from what I can tell so far and all the details I've read about it, reviews I've read, it's actually a well done kit car. We'll start off with what it's powered with, which I already just love. This car's got a Roush 427 in it. Roush, obviously very well known for making great motors. You get a 5-speed trans. I'm pretty sure it's a Tremec in here. I could be wrong on that one. All the materials I read, they really don't use any name brands associated with the car. The company that makes this is called Backdraft Racing. I gotta admit, it feels definitely a bit old school, but you can tell it's more modern technology. The exhaust on this car sounds great, man. I mean, it's so loud. It's right here in my ears, so it's making a serious rumble. But you can tell, you know, there's some modern components going on. For one, I love the Holobrand style wheels. True knockoffs on here, but they're good sized wheels. They're an 18-inch wheel. Getting a lot of rubber on the ground. You got a 295 40 18 in the rear, 245 40 18 up front. We got plenty of meat on the ground. Suspension's really cool. The front suspension's wishbone style with a McPherson style coilover strut. Single piston brakes. It's disc all the way around, but it's only single caliper. I'm guessing, again, lightweight. Not a lot needed there to stop the car. I think the color combo on here is just beautiful. Another one is, I don't know the name of this blue color on here, but I love the blue and white, very vintage, historic looking. I mean, in the sun, this color's just popping like crazy. It's just really beautiful. And you know, I was shocked as we popped open the trunk. It blew me away how much room this little car has in it. Then you come into this interior, man, it's really this is a well done interior. Very simple, but you you know, it's very well done. I mean, these odometer gauges look great. I love the speedo. It's a reverse speedo. All the other gauges are headed in the right direction, but this the speedo actually goes that way instead of that way, which is pretty friggin' cool. Lots of waves in this car. I think a lot of people think I'm a multi-millionaire just cruising around in my $1 million Cobra. You know, I think it's cool. It's a push button start, key on off, push button start. One of the things I always found interesting about these cars, and now sitting in one, I really get it, is the way you sit in this car. You know, you're sitting here, so you're hoping your feet would be lined up as well, but the way this car is, because this trans tunnel is so wide that your feet are significantly offset in this car. I mean, it'd be quick and easy to grab the wrong pedal, I think, if you didn't get yourself seated and ready for just kind of that off to the left seating. It's not bothering me. Don't know how I would do it sitting in here all day long, but I don't know that this is the kind of car you're driving all day long anyways. I think it's funny, along the step in on this car, there's a big sticker, caution, hot exhaust, because I gotta imagine that's probably a regular thing of getting out of these cars and burning your leg. You know, a trained eye is gonna know right away that this is not a real AC Cobra. But as you've seen so far here, as I'm cruising along, multiple people already waving and taking pictures and thumbs ups. I'd imagine you get a lot with this because it, you know, what you're looking at right now is obviously a Cobra. Certainly pulls though, man. I mean, you can tell the power to weight. Power to weight is definitely in favor of power on this car. You know, it always trips me out too, these low back seats. A little sketchy, you know? I mean, obviously in this car you can't go with a high back seat, that'd be ridiculous. But the low back seat's always a little sketchy. I like that this car comes with harnesses, 4-point harnesses. I love that the roll cage behind my head is actually taller than my head, because I've been in cars like this where it's not. And then it's a little nerve-wracking knowing that, God forbid, you go over, you know, you're gonna be in trouble. My one gripe on the interior of this car, not a big one, but I'm not in love with the steering wheel on here. I'd love to see maybe a wood steering wheel. Something more period correct would be cool. Like so many people, my whole life I always thought these were cool cars. I mean, the history of the AC Cobra is legendary. You know, this car back in the day went out and beat some serious cars. Leave it to Carroll Shelby, man. I mean, one of the great minds in motorsports for sure. All right, you guys, well, that's it for my friend Nino's Backdraft built Cobra. Really cool car. You know, I've always wanted to drive one of these. As I said earlier, I've been a passenger in a 427 Cobra, but I've never driven one. I mean, that much power in a 2,400 pound car, pretty intense, gotta admit. Just what a blast to drive this thing. And no, it's not a real one, but you know what? I wouldn't want to drive a real one. You got a $1 million car. This one you can do a couple of burnouts and not be concerned at all. By the way, during the episode I missed when I said about brakes. I read about this car and really didn't take a look before we drove it. I said single piston, absolutely wrong. This car has Wilwood brakes on it and it's 4 piston fronts and 2 piston rears, which gives it a ton of stopping power with this light little car. So anyways, you guys, hope you had a good time in this episode. As always, thanks for hanging and watching and supporting what we're doing here. I truly appreciate it. And I will see you in the next episode. All right, man. Later.